used to dream again. The city of soul.
Starting this off by saying Sserrafim is such a beautiful name. Expectations bring disappointment. There is so much expected from new groups nowadays. They have to release a good song, but it can't just be good, it has to be great. They have to stick out, both in sound and concept. It needs to be new, it needs to be different, but not so much so that they stick out like a sore thumb. Oh, and by the way, we're tired of experimental and honestly just EDM as a whole, so maybe just get rid of that too while you're at it. Well, okay, here's not one, but 2 new genre revivals with a modern twist on them. How's that? No, one's overused and looks better as an aesthetic, and the other one feels too commercial. It's not good enough. I feel like people know what they don't want, but nobody knows what they want. There's no winning for some people, especially when expectations are at a peak. Something I've come to notice is that 2 of the debuts that stick out to me the most out of the 4th gen girl groups is Stacy's So Bad and Everglow's Bon Bon Chocolate. And yes, both of these songs are amazing in their own ways, but I don't personally think I like either of them any more than something like Itzy's Dala Dala or aespa's Black Mamba. So what's the difference? I honestly think it's because the 2 of them came out of nowhere. Nobody really knew the members of Everglow or Stacy all that well before they debuted, and while neither of their companies are small by any means, they're definitely the first groups to really give weight to the names. Both of these groups hit the scene like a freight train, and neither of them has slowed down since, and I think that, accompanied with good music, is what made these songs such an everlasting hit for a lot of people. But a company like Hybe just doesn't have the luxury of surprise. We saw it with TXT and even with Eunchae. People were expecting something new, something we've never seen before. Crown was fresh, but it got old fast, and Cat and Dog was just a little bit too weird. Vampires are cool, but more of an aesthetic than a concept. Where's the storyline at? Obviously everybody is going to have their complaints, but sometimes it can feel just a little bit overdone and overwhelming when every time a big company debuts a new group, they're not good enough. They're either not interesting enough or they're doing something too different. Which is such a crazy concept to me, because why would you want a group to do their best at debut? Whenever I was first getting into K-pop, there were a lot of people saying that it's a little bit redundant to get into a group pre-debut or even at their initial debut because you don't know where they'll be at 3 albums from now. Maybe you won't even like their music by then. But for me, that's the fun part. It's so exciting when a new group debuts, not because I expect them to bring something new to the table, but because I'm so excited to see them grow into something that can. A debut is an introduction, and this is genuinely one of the best ones I've seen in a long time. I came into this not knowing a single thing about any of these girls, and yet I loved wanting to know more about each and every one of them. I instantly left the music video to look up a stage because I couldn't wait to see Chaewon perform, and I'm so excited to hear Yunjin's cover of a song that shows off more of her interesting voice. They all gave me something interesting to look forward to, and I'm so excited to see them grow from here. And that goes for the song itself too. I absolutely love the sleek, clean look on a K-pop group, and I'm living for this somewhat girlish twist on what is usually a pretty mature concept. Minimalism isn't something K-pop is known for, but it's something it is surprisingly good at. For every K-pop song that blows horns as it leads you into battle, there's one right behind it humming a hymn to extinguish the flames. There's not a whole lot to say about this song. It's cool, catchy, and it carries a certain attitude along with it. It might not bring something completely new to the table, but it brings the promise of a possibility. It's catchy if not a bit subdued, average but with a bit of excitement hiding on the edge of every note. The verses bring out the vocals more than the chorus itself, but the chorus still manages to leave a lasting impact, and the funky beat Sikinen right at the very end is just enough to leave a taste, leaving you wanting more. Like a drop of pure bliss dancing on your tongue, only to be swallowed away before you could really enjoy it. It's just enough to tease me into looking into them more, just enough to bring me to the edge, leaving the decision up to me if I want to jump in or not. And really, that's all I can ask for with the debut. Just a little taste of what's to come, allowing me to decide if I want to watch their journey or not, and watch I shall. In the end, I just want to leave off with this. Next time there's a new group debuting from a big company, take a step back and try to look at them like the average group, the average idol, Instead of looking at what they didn't do or comparing them to those before them, look at something you think that they can achieve. Maybe there's something that you see within them that they haven't quite mastered yet, something that they can kindle to become something new, something different. Music is all about improving and moving forward, but it takes time to get there. Recognition and fame comes first for a lot of these groups, artistry and experimentation second. But eventually there comes a point where everything boils over and it creates a whole new era for the group, and sometimes even K-pop as a whole. All it takes is a little bit of time and nurture to allow a budding flower to finally bloom.